So welcome to this third season of Season Day Scholar. And today we have got none other than the editor-in-chief of ES&T Letters, Professor Bryan Brooks. As you know that in the introduction, we keep the secret of the achievements and everything. So you can find in the description as well as at the end of the video. So welcome, Bryan. It is a great pleasure and honor to have you on this program.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I look forward to our conversation this evening, or this morning, rather.
We would love to know the turning points, some of the turning points that you consider is the most, has taken up to here.
Well, I think there's a couple things. So in terms of if I were to think about the specific turning points, it was that undergraduate class, number one, in aquatic science. And then it was the professor taking a chance on an undergraduate who was curious, right? To try to mentor him, and then Steve became my master's mentor as well. And then I think that the third is really when I finished the PhD. I finished the PhD and I was 30 years old at the time. But I was able to secure a faculty position and a tenure track job right out of the PhD, which again is so challenging, and I was lucky, quite frankly. But I remember my grandparents being at my graduation for the PhD, and the ones that were living were there, and that was something that was a very proud moment. Not for me as much as it was for them. They didn't go to college, they didn't graduate college, but here their oldest grandchild, was and receiving a PhD. So I think those were really kind of cool milestones for me. But again, it's like once I got the PhD and I went on and became a faculty member, the curiosity keeps taking you. The work keeps going. It's like you receive a positive tenure decision. I don't know. I think I went to work the next day, and it never really affected, my thought process. So if it was not for that undergraduate class, and then if it wasn't for the same professor taking a chance on me to bring me in as an undergraduate research person, and then, if it wasn't the opportunity to wrap up the PhD, which then helped, launch me into the academic career, I think those are the most key, because if you remove them, it never happens. So I'm grateful for
one again, the findings I would just keep on suggesting between the to my audience, that here you said that the number one diversion is a teacher of this aquatic sciences.
Yes.
So many times such teaching, such introductory subject teaching gave us a lot of great scientists, isn't it?
Absolutely. The purest form of, I think, teaching is actually mentoring students, and so you can teach in the classroom. I think the purest form of teaching is actually in directed research studies. So in our laboratory, there are PhD students primarily. There are a couple of master students, and then there's usually a handful of undergraduates that are running around working with the graduate students. They're learning along the process. Some are finishing undergraduate honors thesis research. So for example, one student finished in December, one will graduate in May. And so these are really bright and talented individuals, and so I see the really the natural extension of my undergraduate really culminating turning point as passing along, right, what my mentors invested in me, right? So we're basically investing in the undergrad now, but these are serious students too, right? And so but they are finding their path, they're finding their passions, and they are curious. And so what I would relay to the undergraduate student is, if you haven't found your passion or something that really excites you yet, keep looking, right? And read broadly, right? Go talk to professors, right, that have expertise. Sometimes getting experience for a few months or even a year doing something you think that you want to do, it may prove to you this is not the path for you to take, but it could also expose you or introduce you to something else, and now I need to go in this direction. And so this is what we try to do with the students that we mentor. uh, let's have diverse experiences. Because I've seen, I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of 21 years now as an academic. Work with many students, and so I've never tried to recruit them to do what I do, although a number of them have went into different aspects of environmental chemistry, environmental toxicology, environmental engineering.